Welcome to Experience Training. This is about nurture, and today we're going to talk about entry level today, leadership tomorrow. Here's the reality. Every individual in your office was hired, hand-selected, on purpose. Somebody saw potential, somebody saw value. Now, you may look around your office and say, I see that in that person. Or you might look at some people and say, what are they thinking with him? But it's still true. Everyone was hand-selected. So how do you identify strengths? You hand-selected the group of people that are serving, so how do you enhance continued growth? Let's consider a few different approaches to developing your future leaders within your organization. To do so, let's talk a little bit about agriculture. I'm from Alabama, that's just what I know. Now, consider each crop of new hires to be this year's harvest. How will you bring them in? What tools will you use? The good news is you have a few options. Option number one, I call it the International Harvester. You see these used in like grain and wheat, right? They're ginormous, they're huge. They take everything and they're deployed based upon a schedule and kind of a majority rules mentality. Ready or not, here it comes. Option number two would be shears. You see these in the hands of workers who are walking the lines of citrus trees. They're used when something is ripe and when something's ready, but whoever's using it, they're always going to be careful not to interrupt the development of the surrounding fruit. The good news is that both of these options are perfect in the right environment, but imagine if you chose the wrong one. The carnage, the loss, if a harvester got loose in a citrus orchard. It wouldn't only cost you this year's crop, it would cost you future crops as well. Think about facing down the amber waves of grain with nothing but a glorified pair of scissors. How far will you get before the harvest beyond your reach begins to rot? How far will you get before you're not able to keep up with the birds who are taking your valuable harvest? You know, taking the newbie of today through a process which will cultivate the leaders of tomorrow requires a few things. The first of those is an understanding of your enterprise. What are you looking for when you're looking for tomorrow's leaders? Number two is that leaders are in position to identify the ready and the outliers. And then number three is that the right tools make the most of hiring investments that you have made. See, with consistent and healthy engagement, with continuing nurture, you can cultivate an advancement culture without the byproduct of things like jealousy. You can select one candidate who is showing signs of greatness without compromising the development of another. And so long as nurture remains available to the ones who are still on the vine, the harvest of those around them looks like hope. When one person gets selected and rewarded, it looks like a reason to work hard. It's only when nurture is removed that you create seeds for things like jealousy. So the goal of every seed is a harvest, and the goal of every hire is a return. So be discerning in their development. Be careful in the selection of those first pieces of harvest, and be mindful of the process that will complete what you have begun. That's how you cultivate a culture of entry level today and leadership tomorrow.